Y'all are out here in the dirt with me. Yes, you are. It's a nice overcast day. As you see, I don't have the sun beating on me. It's a perfect time to get out here. And John just tilled this for me yesterday evening. We came out here. And isn't it beautiful? The soil's nice and light. So before it rains, I want to get my tomato plants in the ground, or our tomato plants in the ground. We're going to make all kinds of goodies with them. And I buy a variety of stuff. I get them at Thomas Nursery from my friend Paula and Jason. They have a huge plant nursery up here, and I've been buying from them for years and years. These are called Cherokee Purples, and they are, I believe they're an heirloom tomato. And I love them. Y'all know because they're purple. Right. I know, I'm a silly goofus, but anyway, I like to get them because they're very acidic. They taste like that tomato you ate at your grandma or your papa's house years ago with some peas and cornbread. They taste like that. And one that I buy from them that's very hardy. Let me see if yeah, here we go. That is also an heirloom that they grow and sell for us. And I've been buying these for years from them. Is Brandywine Reds. This is an heirloom, and it's got a potato leaf looking foliage on it. Looks like a potato leaf, but these are Brandywines, and these are so good. These really taste like when you were a little kid eating tomatoes, and I know y'all remember that. They don't have that beautiful round shape on them like you buy in the store now, but I know that we eat first with our eyesight, but they don't taste the same as these little heirloom tomatoes do they? I know. The first time I got these was probably about 10 years ago. Maybe they started selling these Brandywines heirlooms. And I grew tomatoes every year. And my sister Ginger would come over one evening during the week. She would come after work and she'd bring her little kids. They were little babies then, Ashton and Charlie. And I would cook supper. And we would eat supper and we would drink coffee and just have a little fellowship, you know, catch up as family. And she took one bite of that, and I didn't even think about it. I mean, they were tomatoes. I had peeled them and sliced them to go with peas and cornbread. I think I fried deer steaks. And she took one bite and she said, "Amy, where did you get these tomatoes? They taste like when we were at Mama's house." She remembered growing up at our grandparents' home eating those real acidic tasting, good flavored tomatoes. And I said, oh yeah, I said, those are Brandywines, and Thomas Nursery has started selling them, and it's when they got real popular around here again. And so she's like, "Oh my gosh, they taste just like when we were kids." So she didn't even know that they were supposed to taste so much better. When she tasted it, she recognized it. So I'm just kind of giving Brandywine Reds a shout out there, because they are that good. And Cherokee Purples are acidic like that too. They're not real easy to grow for me. I'll get a few off of there, okay? But the Brandywines, I'll grow. Some years I have grown Brandywines so big that they're as big around as a paper plate. I mean, they are just unbelievable. So I love my Brandywines. I'm going to start laying these out to where all I want to plant them and separate them out, and then I'll get back on here with y'all. I won't make y'all watch me just walk around in the dirt. You'll see me again? Yeah, y'all can. Put my gloves back on. I got me some triple 13. I just put some in a bucket. That's a fertilizer. I sprinkle it all out here before John tills it for me, so it kind of gets some in the soil too. And then I get some more, and I sprinkle just a little bit with each one of my plants that I plant. Some of these tomato plants, I was going to show y'all. Another kind I got was grape tomatoes. These are Cupid grapes, and we love these. John loves these on a salad, so do I, and the chickens love them. You can even freeze these, and they're like little popsicles for your chickens during the hot summer. And so I do that for them. So we just love these. I like to slice these and make just a tomato salad, you know, and the grape tomatoes are a little bigger than your cherry tomatoes, so we like these. And I got 2 of these. So I have plenty to share with my chickens. And this one, you see, he's already gotten mature in his little pot. So, and he's got some yellow leaves. So I just picked those off the bottom. And you see how he's growing sideways, but that's not a problem at all. At all. I'll take my little tab to remind me, but I generally but I stick my tab down here in the dirt. And because he's growing sideways like that, I'll just dig a hole. I don't really even have to dig with a shovel. And I will actually plant him on down in there, like kind of sticking back up. Y'all see what I did? I put him on down there and then made him stand up like that, and he'll straighten up like that. So I put the part that was sideways on in the dirt. I've seen people, I know one of my preachers years back, Brother Saunders, he said to lay your tomato plants totally sideways like that in the dirt, and then they would grow straight up, but they would have this big old line already in there, like they've already been growing for a while and got a good root system. So I did that one year, and he said it made all the difference, and they did great that year. It was some brandywines I did that way. So you can, I don't think there's any right or any wrong. There's one thing I do that my mother taught me, is tomato plants do not like, they love rain, of course, but when it rains, this rain will hit on this topsoil and it will splash a little bit of muddy water up on the foliage, the leaves of your tomato plant, and they don't like that. They will get blight. It will just, and it will kill the whole plant. It can. And so if you ever notice that, you can do one of many things. Something I'll do is I'll put pine straw out here around them. So that pine straw does a couple of things. It holds moisture on my plant when it rains, and it also keeps that muddy water from splashing up on the foliage. Again, he's got a yellow limb down here toward the bottom, so I'm just going to pluck that off just like that and dig me a little hole. Sprinkle me a little triple 13. I didn't remember to sprinkle one in there. I know that myself, I sure do. And I'm going to put that on him just like that, and just kind of press him down with my hand like that. They love this aerated soil that John tilled for me. That's his part. Hey Cricket, hey sweet girl. Cricket always shows up to help Mama in the garden. Yes, she does. She said the puppy dogs can't make it out here to chase me. Jax and Benny have some of those collars on that gives them like an electric fence, you know. It's just that one that's it's not buried or anything. It's the one you plug up, and it'll give that little warning, that beeping sign that they need to stay. And they're pretty good. They're just behind y'all right there watching us, but Cricket knows that. She knows the borderline. She says, otherwise those stinking things chase me. I know, girl. You gonna come out here and say hi? You gonna help me? You're always so helpful in the garden. Yes, you are. Yes, she is. So I put the grape tomatoes on the end, and I like to give them lots of room around them because they'll get big and bushy. And I mean, they put off some tomatoes. Yes, they do. And you'd think my chickens would come out here and eat my tomatoes, but they don't, guys. They come out here and they scratch around. They eat the bugs off my tomato plants, and they love those worms. And I love that they love them because they keep them off my tomato plants. What I was telling y'all though about the pine straw, if you don't have pine straw, something my mother also would use is newspaper. I see you, girl. Yeah, I know. I see you. She would also use newspaper, and she would pack it all around the outside of her tomato plants. And that also holds moisture. Once it rains, it holds moisture on your plant for your plant to get not too dried out. And it too keeps that muddy water from splashing up on the foliage of your tomato plants. So you don't have to use pine straw. You can use some newspaper. And I'll tell y'all, my chickens come out here and they scratch all that pine straw off every morning just to see what kind of little bugs they can find to eat. But anyway, I got to put up with a little bit, don't I? At least they eat my tomato plant, my worms off my tomato plants. This is another heirloom tomato that I got, and these are orange in color. They're called Old German. Let me see if I can lean forward and show y'all. Y'all see they're an orangey like. I see you. I know. What else you know good there, Cricket? And these also are very good tasting. They have funny shapes to them, but they taste so good. Yes, they do. And I got me a few of those, as well as all these Cherokee purples. Let me come up close and show y'all a Cherokee purple before I get too far down the line. see if y'all can see this little tab is what I'm trying to show y'all how purpley these are. Can y'all see that? Isn't that cool? I know my camera up close is very fuzzy. I know that. I see that too, and it frustrates me. Yeah, it does. I'm sure I'm stressing a little bit, hoping this microphone's really working. I tested it before we came on out here, and it was working good. So I got faith God's taking care of us, huh? All right, guys. It's acting like it's wanting to rain, and it's so humid out here. I mean, you can hardly breathe. It's so humid out here. All right, let's get some of these old Germans in the ground. Put my triple 13 up here so I won't forget it. This reminds me of being in the garden with my grandparents. My mama's parents, my mama and Papa Ray, they grew garden every single solitary year that I knew them, which was a long time. And you see I'm getting all this dead or any yellowed off the bottom, and it does good anyway if you get that off the bottom, because that's where that splashing likes to take place on these tomato plants. So but anyway, they grew a garden every year. My grandparents were those grandparents. They were country grandparents. They lived up in town in West Monroe, but they came from the country, Sykes area, Winfield, Sykes area, and they had a huge garden, and they only ate things out of their garden, like peas and butter beans and green beans and tomatoes and squash. It was pickles. It all came from their garden. It's amazing. Like, they never had to buy vegetables in town. It was just amazing. I don't grow that many. I don't, but I try. You know, I get enough for us to have peas for the year and tomatoes during the summer. John and I love to eat bacon tomato sandwiches during the summer, and it's hot, and you really don't want to eat a real hot meal, and it's so good. And we slice these tomatoes so thick, and they're cool, and oh, we just eat that a ton during the summer. We love that. And even a tomato sandwich, isn't that good? I know. I know, I heard y'all. Yes, I did. All right, another old German going in. I'm just going to pluck around the bottom. Make sure he's clean around the bottom. Put him a little sprinkle of triple 13 in there. Cricket, how are you, darling? You helping Mama? Oh, my goodness, she's interested in my hands swishing around. I had a dog one time. Somebody dropped dog off on us. People always drop dogs off on us out here in the country. And I don't even really know what kind of dog he was. He was a big, shaggy thing, but he had mange when he was dropped off on us, and he was so skinny, his back legs was touching, okay? And so John worked in our shop out behind our double wide at the time. He mechanicked on the side, and he worked at the chicken plant. And I saw him coming out, because he got to where, baby, like, you can't save every animal. So he would, if he got to them before me and they were pitiful like that, he'd put them out of their misery, y'all know. Well, I was inside. Tyler was a baby. John Tyler, he was a baby, and I'd taken Blake to school, and I was cooking John Tyler some eggs, and he was sitting in the high chair, and I saw that poor little dog, and he walked up. Somebody obviously had dropped him, because hardly anybody lives on our road. Cricket, I don't need you biting me, girl. No, I don't, Missy. You're so helpful. Oh, yes, you are. So anyway, he got dumped off on us, and I ran out the back door, and I went to John in the shop. I said, I see him, and please don't, I got to feed this poor dog, please don't. And so John said, okay, baby, okay. Well, we kept that dog forever. Ended up naming him Booger. He was a sweetie. I was so embarrassed, like when the UPS man would drive up, because he had permanent hair loss from his mange. And so I had dipped him, and he got fat and sassy and just the friendliest little old thing. But he was just, he looked like a pig, because he was fat and healthy, because I fed him. But he had no hair. It sat right on top of his head. And we called him Booger, and he was a sweetheart. He just loved everybody. He loved the UPS man. The UPS man said, well, he seems real grateful, Amy. So I was always trying to explain him off why he looked like that. But Booger would help me plant in the garden. I know y'all are like, where are you going, Amy? I know I took y'all around the world, but I came back. He would help me out in the garden. And one time I was planting potatoes back earlier, and you know, you do that back when it's still cold. And I was dropping my potatoes along and covering them up. Well, I didn't know Booger was coming behind me, and he was digging the potato up and eating it. So by the time I got through one whole row, I turned around and Booger had dug every one of the little potato pieces up and eaten on them. I was like, Booger, no. So anyway, he was real helpful for me one year in the garden. All right, now we're going to start Cherokee purples. Those are all old Germans and our grapes. Grape tomatoes. Cricket, she thinks I'm wanting to play here in the dirt. She's biting. I'm glad I got my leather gloves on, Missy. Y'all see, I just go full-on leather gloves in the garden because I might be pulling barbed wire fence with John or picking up limbs and stuff like that, so I can't have my frilly little pretty thin garden gloves. I just go all out with my leather gloves. And thank goodness, huh, Cricket? Since you scratching and biting, you silly girl. You silly girl. Gosh, I got a lot of Cherokees. I didn't realize how many Cherokee purples I got. I'm excited about it. I hope they do pretty good because I want to make y'all a pretty colorful tomato salad. Yes, I do. Some of the things I was going to tell y'all I make with all these tomatoes. Of course, tomato salads, and we have those bacon tomato sandwiches. And also, one thing I'll make, if I have some years, tomatoes do really good for me. Some years not so good, you know, we just eat on them. Of course, we have them peas and cornbread. Oh, that's a meal to me right in itself. It doesn't need anything else. Peas, cornbread, and tomatoes. But anyway, some of the things that I'll make if I have excess tomatoes is I will go on and can tomatoes so you can put them in soups during the winter. And one thing I make, and anyone that tries it loves it, is salsa. And I cook my salsa down. I don't do a raw salsa. I do make a raw salsa like restaurant style, but whenever I have a lot of tomatoes, I cook them down so they're real stewed and they have a real nice deep flavor. And I'll use, so hopefully we'll have enough this year that we can make a batch of salsa together, because I would love to do that with y'all. And then of course, if you've got the green ones, you do fried green tomatoes. And then I like to make this stuff called chow chow, and it's got green tomatoes in it. You can put that on peas. It's got other things in it as well. It's really good. So I'm hoping to make some of all these things with y'all. I sure am. Y'all see, I just stay on the ground. We're just going to get muddy. It feels so good out here, doesn't it, Cricket? She says, Mama, I love it. I love it, Mama. She's our chicken coop kitty cat. She's the one y'all see down there, and she'll follow the chickens around in the yard like she's their little shepherd. Cricket, do you think you're a chicken, baby girl? I know. It's all right. There are worse things to be than a chicken, huh? I'm going to pluck that little stem off, and I just put it right down in the hole whenever I pluck a stem off. Why not? But anyway, like I say, I'm going to have to cover these with pine straw or newspaper or something, because your little tomato plants just don't do real well if you've got that dirt right up where that rain splashes that little bit of dirty water on their leaves. They don't care for that. I'm going to keep on, y'all. I've got my Cherokee purples to plant. Down on the end, I got some Creoles. I'll show y'all. I don't know if they're heirloom or not. I don't think they are. Creole tomato, C-R-E-O-L-E. I love those too. And then this whole row I'm going to do in brandywines. So I'm going to get off here because I know y'all are like, okay, Amy, we get it. You're putting tomato plants in the ground. Y'all see that wind blowing? It's really like it's going to rain on us, isn't it? So I got to get busy and quit yakking and talking, huh? And then when I come back, we'll go over to the next row. I showed y'all how John, I get him to row me just where I'm going to put my tomatoes. Then we'll skip over so I can mow between it and not get a bunch of grass. And we'll plant a whole bunch of jalapenos, because that goes in our salsa. And then, of course, I pickle jalapenos whole and sliced for John and us. We eat on salads and anything and everything, all sorts of dips you do during the holidays. So we also need to make some pepper jelly with it too, don't we? No. We're going to have a lot to do this summer together. Yes, we are. A lot of candy. I thought of one story. I'm about to get through with one of my row of tomatoes, but y'all like, no, you didn't think of a story, did you? But this Cherokee purple always reminds me, when I'm planting it, of a story. My youngest sister, Ginger, you know, she and I and our other sister, we all grew up in West Monroe area, so she would go out in West Monroe area on the weekends with her friends. Well, one night she got in a group of girls, more than one occasion, not just one night, but one in particular, there was this younger girl talking about this guy she had been dating, she'd recently broke up with, that had written a song about being an Indian outlaw. Y'all know who I'm talking about, don't you? And she said, he wrote this dumb song about this Indian. He's an Indian outlaw, and he thinks he's going to be famous from this song and go on and be a country singer. And she was just making fun and saying she just had to break it off with him. You know, she didn't believe in him. He's exactly right? I know. So he didn't need her anyway, did he? But anyway, that was Tim McGraw. Yes, it was. So Ginger and I would laugh about that years later and say, oh my goodness, you reckon she ever thinks about the fact that she didn't believe in him, because he did go on to become a famous country artist and he's even been in lots of movies, and I really think that he's a good actor as well. I do. But she dated him, and I just wondered, does she ever think back on and say, woo, boy, was I wrong. But anyway, she just didn't believe in him. You know, you got to believe in who you're with and who you love and their dreams. So anyway, it just reminds me of that, and y'all know I had to come on here and tell y'all that story. Yes, I did. All right, let me get him in the ground, and we're going to move on to our jalapeno plants. I'm sitting right here in front of them. We got several of those to go, don't we? I'll be back, guys. I got all the tomato plants done, and now John's driving up. So I've started on the jalapeno plants. I just show y'all. Hi, baby! Hey, baby! Yes, we have. I'm out here with everybody planting jalapeno plants. Yeah. Guys, I looked, I planted 62 tomato plants. Can y'all believe that? I know. And y'all did it with me. Yes, you did. I've got my jalapenos out here, and I just use regular jalapeno plants because I like them to be hot. They've come out with some that aren't so hot, and I can't remember what they're called. Something else jalapeno. Something else jalapeno. But anyway, we'll pickle most of these, and I do some sliced pickled and some whole pickled. I have lost my triple 13. Let me grab it. Here we go. Let me get y'all down, because y'all just looking at me instead of the plants, right? Let's see here. I think I'm a little too close, huh? I'm a little too close. Let's back up some. There we go. I'm just crawling around in the dirt, guys. This is my happy place. Yes, it is. It's sprinkling a little bit on us now. Yes, it is. Let's see here if I can straighten y'all up a little bit too. Let me take off my muddy glove to do some straightening on y'all. Put y'all down a little bit. Now, is that going to be good? Yeah. Yeah, and I'll pickle some of these whole. John likes to eat them whole too. And I just sit out here. I don't know if y'all could hear all the birds chirping earlier. They were just cutting up. They sound so heavenly, don't they? I know it. I love it. They sound like they're always full of joy. A bird. He's always making a joyful noise, isn't he? Don't we wish we all could be like the birds? I know. Some of y'all say that to me. Amy, I wish I was as happy as you were all the time. And I'm not happy all the time. I'm really not. But I choose to just be happy-go-lucky. I'm that person that might have some horrible stuff going on in my life, But I'm going to smile and laugh and cut up, because that's all we've got left to do, isn't it? I know it. Sometimes that's all we've got left. So we're just going to do it. We're going to do it and be stubborn despite everything else, aren't we? Going to get the rest of these jalapeno plants in the ground, guys. I ran out of spots for my tomato plants in that one area, so I stole some spots way down at the end. That's our Creole tomatoes down there. I hope this year I'm out here picking these and we're going in and making stuff with them. That's what I plan on doing with y'all. I sure do. Normally I have got my garden planted way before this. I usually wait. The Farmer's Almanac loves for you to wait till Good Friday, that Easter weekend, and I usually wait till that, and I'll start on Easter weekend, but everybody's coming here for Easter, so I'll finish that week after Easter. But this year I went and bought these at Thomas Nursery, and even Jason that owns it, he said, please don't put these in the ground. I said, I promise I'm not. I promise I'm going to take care of them. And I did. I kept them from out in the elements, because we got a couple of more frost and freezes. It's just been a weird year like that weather-wise. So, and I didn't get an almanac this year. I don't know what the almanac was saying about it. I just looked at the weather and saw we were going to have more frost, and then it kept storming. I might would have done it last weekend, but it stormed. I'm just chunking some triple 13 on the ground too out here. Put a little in the hole, and then I chunk it. The other things we're going to plant, besides tomatoes and jalapenos galore, is purple hull peas. I used the pink eye purple hulls, and I bought so many last time from Thomas Nursery I didn't have to buy any of those this year. I keep them in my deep freeze out here in the canning kitchen, and they're perfect. You just keep them in the freezer and they'll just last just about forever. So I do that. Sometimes I'll save my peas and I'll let some of them be seed, but that's so hard to do. My papaw did that, and John's papaw did, but it's so hard because I want to eat them all. But sometimes if some seem a little dry, I'll save it, and I planted those next to the ones that I buy to see which ones did better or worse, and I didn't notice any difference in them, honestly, so I just buy them. Times aren't as hard as they used to be when our grandparents were planting gardens, and so we can afford to get some pea seed, but it's good to always keep some just in case one year we don't have them. We don't know, do we? This garden has got all sorts of things in it that I'll dig around and find, because this is right where John's papa's and grandma's garden was, but I'm right at the front of it where the canning kitchen actually was too, that I loved dearly. But it was in such bad shape we had to tear it down, and I didn't want to. It had these windows on it that opened sideways, and they were dark green, and they cranked out, and oh my goodness, I loved it. But you can tell John bulldozed it down and buried it, because I found like some little pieces of dishes. This looks like some sort of a metal measuring cup. I see the measurements on that. So we're just going to bury that down in there too. Several generations living on top of one another, you can tell it. John and I are going to sit on the front porch and watch it turn nighttime. I cooked the green chicken today. Yes, I did. I haven't made that in a long time, and I decided to do that so I could be out here with y'all. I had several errands to run uptown earlier in the morning, so I knew when I got here we were going to work on this garden. And since John's in, I won't keep on, but tomorrow I'll come back out here. It'll seem like just a few minutes to y'all, won't it? Let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left, and not quite enough room, so I'm going to start staggering them. These little jalapenos don't care if you plant them close to one another. These jalapenos do good. I don't care what you do. You don't even have to water the poor little things, and they'll make jalapenos. I will make so many pickled jalapenos, and we'll eat them and all sorts of stuff. Literally, you have to go in the house and shut the door on them. I mean, it just doesn't get too hot for them. The hotter in the summer it gets, the hotter that little jalapeno gets, though. So remember that. the cooler the weather and the wetter the weather, they're not near, they'll be mild, and then all of a sudden they'll get real hot on you. It's because it's hot summertime, they'll get real hot on you. But they're a hardy little old plant. They don't care if they're close together or far apart. They just don't care. They say, we're growing anyway. They're an easy little thing if you want to do you some jalapenos. And you can put them in a pot on your porch if you don't have some ground to do the garden in. This is right where John's grandparents, I've told y'all before, I'll bend over in the garden and he'll say, you look just like my mama in the garden. And I'll think, oh, is that good or is that bad? But he means it in a good way. It just brings back good memories for him. He's very fortunate to still be living right where he was born. Isn't that crazy? Well, it's crazy for me because my parents were gypsies. We moved all over the place, all up in West Monroe, but all over the place. They fix up a house, build a house, and we'd move again. I got them all in the ground, guys. I don't know how many jalapeno plants we have. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36 jalapeno plants. So, all we got left to do beside us over here is another big, long running line of dirt. We're going to plant cucumbers there tomorrow, and then we'll also plant purple hull peas back here. This is another, these are running this way, and then right along the other way, crosswise, is a big patch that John tilled for me that I plant the purple hull peas in. And I'm not going to do green beans this year. I'm just going to do purple hull peas, and then maybe next year I'll do green beans, and I can them. My purple hull peas I freeze, but I can my green beans. And you do have to pressure can green beans, you sure do, for them to stay sealed, because they don't have any acidity in them, so they have to have that acidity to stay canned, like tomatoes, for instance. And cucumbers and squash, which I'll talk about that again. If you plant cucumbers, don't plant squash in your garden at the same time. They've always said they'll cross-pollinate, and you won't tell a squash from a cucumber or a cucumber for a squash. Well, one year I did it, and I planted squash on one end and cucumbers all on the other end of the garden. I thought they're plenty far enough away, maybe to be okay. And my cucumbers were not green. They were yellowy, and they were not long-wise. They were fat and yellow. And they didn't taste good. They seemed like a cucumber that had been growing out there forever. You know, those that get too big and you have to throw out anyway or make seeds from. And so I was like, okay, that's a real thing. But I had to try it. I just had to see for myself. So I know. So this year, I'm growing cucumbers. I'll come closer to y'all. I'm growing cucumbers, and I will make sweet pickles with them. And, of course, then I'll eat cucumbers. Cucumber salads. Oh, that's fantastic with the tomatoes and the purple onion sliced in it, a little bit of vinegar, and yeah, I'm getting hungry, guys. And then next year is when I'll do squash, because I just don't do them at the same time. And I love squash. I love just to eat it sauteed real quick, but John doesn't care for it, so I don't worry about that. But he loves these sweet pickles. Yes, he does. So I'll be back tomorrow, and we will plant our peas and we'll plant our cucumbers. And I will see y'all then. I'm going to go get cleaned up. Y'all think I'm dirty enough? I know. I look like a little kid, don't I? I'll take y'all and show y'all what John's up to. Can y'all see that? We got us a new trailer to go on our new tractor truck. It's over at the shop. But we got us a new trailer there, and John's looking at it. He's eyeballing his new toy, as he calls it. Although he makes money with his toys, so I sure don't mind a toy if he's going to make money with it. There goes some of the logs off either us or a job that Joe Ball's got going down the road from us. So it's the big old log in town. You can sure tell it, can't you? Baby, you looking at your new toy? I told him I didn't mind your toys. You made money with your toys. Y'all, I do let John get toys he don't make money with too now. Who is that? That's some of Joel's bunch.
I think that's one of Joe's brothers.
Yeah. Okay, our bunch left earlier. Right before it started sprinkling a little bit.
Look like you got the garden planted up, baby.
Well, I got the tomatoes and the jalapenos, and so tomorrow we're going to do cucumbers and peas together. Hey guys, I was just walking to go put my camera inside, and I wanted to show you all these pretty knockout roses. Aren't they just gorgeous? It'll rain one good time and knock them all off of here, so I thought I'd share them with y'all right now. They're right here on our back porch. But they're so pretty. They're just so pretty. I planted them about 4 years ago, and y'all see how tall they are? They're taller than me. I'm looking up to them. I didn't trim them back last year like I was supposed to, and they're really tall, so this year I'll have to trim them up a little bit. They're getting kind of scraggly looking, but they sure are pretty. Sure are pretty. I wish y'all could smell one. Alright, okay, we're really going in. Hey guys, I think y'all can see me. I can't see y'all too good. This is our second day. I went into town, got my hair done by my good friend Christy today, and we're in the cucumber area, and I have from Thomas Nursery burpless cucumbers, and then I picked some other cucumbers up. They're called pickle bush, and I used to get some that used to be called pickling cucumbers, but I haven't seen them in a while, so pickle bush looks a lot like them. So anyway, you can pickle any of them though, to be honest about it. I'm gonna plant that, and what I do, I gotta go find my hoe. I see my hoe. I'm gonna get my hoe, and I just run me a line of them. I used to walk and like doing holes, and the older I get, the more I realize I'm doing a little easier than that. So I just run me a line down and plant them. And then I also got some sunflower seeds, and these are mammoth Russian sunflowers, and I love to plant those in my garden because they're just so beautiful. One time I took a picture of one of my big sunflowers, and I didn't realize it when I took the picture, but it had a tiny little bee in the middle of it, and so when I took the picture and I blew it up, I put it as my screensaver on my phone. There was that bee right in the center, so it just turned out the perfect little picture, and I had no idea the bee was in it when I took the picture, but it was cute. I still have it. I am going to put these things down. I'm going to go pick up my hoe, and I'm going to make a line here. I'll just keep talking, y'all, if y'all want me to. I know y'all do. It's a little sunnier today, but it did sprinkle on me on the way home from town, so we better get going, huh? I know. Let's see here. Get over here and get my hoe. I always plant my cucumbers from seeds. I know a lot of your nurseries sell the plants, and I'm sure those do great too, but they work so well for me planting seeds that I just stick to the seeds. Why not? Why not? And this is all I do, guys. I hope and I pray that y'all can see me. Let's see here. I've got two different mounds, and I've got two different cucumbers. So I'm going to plant this half up here in one kind, and then I'll plant the other kind in the back, and I'm just going to dot my sunflowers all around in there. They'll come way on up above it. What I think's neat about the sunflowers is they always face the eastern sky, which is what we're told to watch, right? That eastern sky. And they do. They love it where that sun comes up in the morning is what they're facing, but they never do turn and face the western sky. And I just think that's so neat. So I like that. Reminds me of a Bible verse. Look into that eastern sky. They're sure watching. Watching. Y'all see I'm just walking all the way down, just doing me a little groove right in the middle of my mound like that. And while I'm on this end, I'm going to start that groove all the way back on this mound. John always says he doesn't understand how I get my rows so straight, and he says it looks like I measured and everything, and he's being real nice to me because I guess it just looks pretty. I guess the garden just looks pretty, doesn't it? It really does, because I don't try to get my rows straight. Just kinda. All right, guys. I should have put my hair up, that's for sure, before I get my hands dirty. I'm going to do that. I always carry a something around my arm. Just in case, if you got long hair, that's what you always do. You got something just in case you need to put your hair up real quick. I didn't want to get it all crimped and ugly. You know what I mean? You just get your hair done. And I come home to the farm, right? I know it. Okay, there we go. Now I can see. Alright, I'm going to put a little triple 13 down in my rows. Just kind of sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. I'm not as young as I used to be. I used to bend up and down and up and down and up and down, planting my peas and my cucumber seeds and my squash seeds and such, and that will get you. The next day you can hardly see it. So if you want a decent workout, do that. You will see. Alright, put me some fertilizer down this row. There we go. We get our seeds in here. This tends to go a lot faster than when we're sitting on the ground planting, digging holes and planting, doesn't it? Yes, it does, but I like both ways. I like both of them. Okay. Now, with my big old gloves on, I just can't hardly feel these seeds, so I'm going to take my gloves off. Loud truck. I don't know who it is. Loud truck. I hope y'all are getting me on this microphone. It's kind of pointing the wrong direction, but I think it's pretty good at picking up anyway. I think. That loud truck reminds me of when John was younger. We were dating. He had the loudest truck I'd ever heard in my entire life. I may have too many seeds, but right now I'm going to start with these pickle bush, and I'm going to run them all down one row, and then I'll come back and do those burpless on another row. I think it's only on our road is about 5-6 miles long. I'm gonna have to bend down a little more than that because the wind is blowing. It's kind of blowing my little seeds, but yeah, our road's like 5-6 miles long. And let's see, there's one little family living on one end, us family living in the middle, slap dab in the middle of this road, and then another family community living on the other end of the road. So it's not a whole lot of us on this road, but we're a real good cut through road. The chicken plant, the poultry company, they're up in town in Farmerville. But to come from Bastrop and many other towns, they cut through this road to get to the chicken plant from the interstate. So we get lots of traffic since that chicken plant was built here, or the poultry plant. And that was back in the early 90s it was. It excited everyone around here. Everybody started growing chickens. John's papa had grown chickens his whole life here, you know, but lots of other people jumped up and started doing it. I don't see where I stopped, y'all. Let's see. Let me back up. Let me find some cucumber seeds. Ah, I see where I stopped. Okay. All right. And I'll drop one or sometimes maybe two, just in case one doesn't want to come up, you know, is how I do it. And I know we all do differently in our garden. You ask 10 different people how to garden and you'll get 10 different answers. I told y'all I asked my preacher years back, Mr. Saunders, Brother Saunders, and he gave me some tips. And then now my new go-to gardening man is Mr. C. Snygard. I'm sure a lot of y'all locally know who I'm talking about, and he's given me lots of tips. I told him one time my tomatoes do good and one year they don't. I know you're supposed to plant your tomatoes in a different spot every year. Don't plant them in that same spot, maybe because they've used up the nutrients or whatever. So I don't do that. I move them around. But Mr. Cease also told me to get some calcium and sprinkle all in my garden and till it up. And I did that last year and it did help a bit. I didn't get calcium this year though. I got it after I left Thomas Nursery, but I'm just going to go with my triple 13 only without the calcium. Let's see. I've got a few more seeds and an open pack, so I'm going to go on and dot them in here. We won't waste y'all, and we won't just leave you till next year. We'll just dot you in between. We'll have plenty of cucumbers. Yeah. Yes, we will. John's supposed to be getting home fairly decent time this evening or dark, so we said we make some coffee and sit on the porch and watch the sunset. That's our plan. That's our plan in pencil anyway. We'll see how that goes. All right, guys, got my triple 13. I got my cucumber seeds, so all we got to do is cover these back up. So I start on one side and I just rake just a tiny bit, nothing crazy, so they'll have plenty of loose soil to come back up. Hide all your seeds though, because if the crows see them, or any bird really, if they see one seed they know there's more and they will dig and scratch and get all your seeds up. So hide your seeds good. Don't leave one of them showing. There's one of them showing. Get yourself hidden. Hide in that dirt. I need to look at that camera real good and make sure y'all can see me all the way down here. I'm not sure. I love having this wireless microphone though. I be having to hoop and holler at y'all from this distance, huh? I know it. Then I kind of just take my hoe head like that and I kind of just pack it. Just lightly come back up like this. Hope y'all can see me. Not surely I'll get close enough in a second. This is just what I do. Like I say, you ask 10 people, you'll get 10 different ways to garden. Kind of like recipes, huh? Can y'all see me? Let me come up here close. See if y'all can see my entire garden. I do. I do believe you can. Okay, good deal. All right, next, I'm going to get on to these burpless cucumbers. We will see. Let's see, I used 3 packs of that other. My grandmother, we're going to make pickles, sweet pickles out of these. And of course I eat them in salads, and I could just chop up a cucumber and eat it right then and there. It's delicious to me. John doesn't like cucumbers. He loves, I don't know if y'all can see me or not. I can see nothing from this distance, but anyway, he loves watermelon, and he thinks that these cucumbers smell a lot like a watermelon, but he just can't like a cucumber. He's tried many times, and he has. I'll have to give him that. But anyway, he sure does love a sweet pickle. And I make my grandmother's recipe, but honestly, her recipe, I think, is just like lots and lots and lots of sweet pickle recipes that you'll see on, where have I seen that? Maybe some of your pickle and salt, such as that. It's just an old-time recipe, and it's good. And it's good. And you can add to that, you can add red pepper flakes, and you can add jalapenos. You can make them zesty like that. I tend to just stick to the old traditional sweet pickle recipes, so I'll have plenty of those, because John will open up a jar and eat half the jar in one sitting with the meal. He just loves them. He'll get on a kick, and I mean, he is eating some pickles. And of course I give them away and share them with my family. Of course I do that too. So we're going to do that together this year. I use a pickling crock that came from John's grandmother. So it is old. It's an old crock, big tall thing. And I used to would fill that thing up, and I soak mine in lime water for a day. You can go up to like 3 days, because if you soak them in lime, they stay crispy and crunchy. And I know a lot of questions I've gotten from many people was, well, I made pickles and then when we ate them they were just mushy, or they weren't crisp, crunchy. And that's the difference, is putting them in that lime, soaking them in that lime. So I'm going to do all of that with y'all this year and show you that little secret, or that thing that some people just don't know, but they need to be in and crunchy, and they sure do keep that crisp crunch. So if that happens to be a little problem of yours, we're gonna fix that this year. We sure are. Yes, we are. I'm gonna get one more package of those burpless. Come back over here to y'all. I got my smartwatch on. I need to turn it on to some sort of a gold, don't I? I know it. I do. Yes, I do. Like an open goal or something of that nature. Maybe to just pick up my heart rate going up and down. It's warm today, but I'd rather be warm than cold. Oh my goodness, here's some wild strawberries growing. Aren't they pretty? I'm gonna pick one and come show y'all. He's gorgeous. Right here in the garden. So pretty. Got a little piece of clover in there. All right, Clover, you get out. I don't want to confuse us. Come back and show y'all. It's a wild strawberry, isn't he just beautiful? He is so pretty. He's even got pretty little strawberry leaves on there. So pretty. Okay, all right, back to work. Back to work. This is a fun work though, isn't it? I'd rather be out here than anything, but we got inside chores to do too, don't we? I know. Yes, we do. I had started cleaning up my canning kitchen so I could take some of y'all in there, because we hadn't been in there in a while. And I have to get it back together. I work on it when I can. When I can, because we've got to get in there and make jelly and all kinds of goodies. We're going to make our pickles, and hopefully we're going to get enough tomatoes to do some salsa. Alright guys, I'm going to cover this up, and then I'm going to dot some sunflowers throughout just so they'll pop up here and there. And then I'll move y'all and we'll do some purple hull peas. I was thinking pink eye purple hulls and I just messed that all up, didn't I? Okay y'all, we are now in the pea patch. I have got some, I told a little fib, I thought it was pink eye purple hulls, but I've had them for years in the freezer. These are called top pick or top pick bush or something. I'll let you know when I see them. But I've got 3 rows basically. I'm going to plant those. These are nice and wide, so I have plenty of room to walk around them and pick. So let's just start down the middle. Cricket showed up out here to help us again. Yes, she has. Hi, Cricket girl. How are you, girl? Good. Good. Y'all, it's so funny how wonderful God will work in our lives. You know, I wanted to get me some more baby chicks this year. Some of my hens have gotten older and passed on. They're waiting on me at the farm in heaven, huh? And so I need some more chickens. I was going to get me some baby chicks this year. I got my whole area ready. I have a huge tub they go in with some screen wire over the top and a heat lamp, and I got some feed, some grower feed and some wood chips, some feeders. I was so ready. And let's see, I'm gonna grab my purple hulls. And with this pandemic going on, all your houses that usually have baby chickens in them, or I check with them, they say we got 20 in yesterday and we sold out in an hour. Of course, if you get 20 baby chicks in, you know, so they just have been having such trouble. And the time to buy baby chicks in town has come to an end, and they've packed it all up everywhere and they just didn't get any, or they got very few. So I missed out Excuse me, I'm taking me a swig of water. And so I thought this wasn't meant to be. Well, when I the hair place today at Christie's, like I say, she's a friend of mine too, and she's a sweetheart doll. I love hanging out with sweetheart dolls, don't y'all? They make us feel good. But anyway, the lady that came in behind me, Miss Becky, hey Miss Becky, she has chickens. Well, she got to show me pictures of her chickens and Christy while Christy was finishing my hair. And then she said, I said, well, and I saw that she had baby chicks. She has brooding hens. And I said, oh my goodness, do you happen to have any baby chicks you would sell me? And she said, girl, I'll just give them to you. And I thought, well, okay. She said, I'll just give you some baby chicks, and do you need any hens, some grown laying hens? I said, well, yes ma'am, I do. I have two roosters and not enough hens. So isn't that funny how I thought it was over, I wasn't going to have any more chickens this year, and God lined us up together there at Christmas. She was our mediator. So Friday afternoon we have a date, Christy and I, to ride to Miss Becky's home. She's going to show us all her pretty flowers outside. It's a gorgeous time of year, and I'm going to take a big crate and we're going to pick up some hens, and then later I'm going to go back and get some baby chicks from her. And I'm just so excited. I'm just so excited. I've already got my place ready for them because I was ready to get baby chicks in town. So I am tickled. Oh, that's my husband driving my son's Jeep. And they look the same. I thought you were Tyler. Oh my goodness. Huh? You did. I thought that was John Tyler driving up. He looks just like his daddy. And it was John, Big John, driving up. Okay, yeah, these are called Top Pick Purple Hulls. They're not the pink eyes. I keep my gloves on, put out that triple 13 because y'all know it's got like ammonia in it. It'll kind of burn on you a little bit, so I'm going to take my gloves off so I can feel my peas. I got everybody out here planting the garden with me today, baby. They said they wanted to come, and I gladly come out here and talk with them. Cricket's helping too, as you see. When John was little, his papa would let him help plant. What would your papa say? 2 in the hole? 2 in the hole. That's what he'd say. I think John's on the phone too.
What are we looking for?
So I'm going to do like papa. I'm going to do 2 in the hole. Now my papa, he let you harvest out of his garden, but he didn't let you get in his garden. He was real particular about his garden, and I get it. It's a lot of work. So I get that. I do. I've had some little ones in my garden, and they go to pick and pull the whole plant up, you know. So it is a particular thing, and then it's ruined, you know. And your garden season's over, so I get it. And these you're supposed to drop further apart than I do, but I don't care. I don't care. Like lots of peas to come up, so I don't care. I might drop, and I drop 2 in a hole too, just in case one doesn't feel like growing, the other one will. Sometimes if I accidentally drop 3, well, I leave that as well. I'm gonna go down through here. These I don't can these. I just blanch these and then put them in quart-sized freezer bags, and I freeze them in the deep freeze. And I've got a small little deep freeze out here in the canning kitchen that I'm gonna love filling up with these peas and not have them inside in my freezer taking up lots of space, because I'll grow enough, we'll have them for the year. And of course I'll share with my family too. Yes, I will. But that's what we do with this. And John loves, I'll cook these peas and I put one of those pickled jalapenos in there, and we love how it just flavors them just enough, you know. Makes your peas really, really flavorful. Sure does. Pepper sauce on them too. We might have to make some pepper sauce, but I'm not growing those kind of peppers, but it's okay. I can buy some at a farm stand, can't I? Sure can. John comes in from work, and now he's making all his phone calls for the day. Lots of people call him. He's on a piece of equipment, or today he was in his dump truck, so you sure can't be on the phone. DOT, they just smell you if you get on your phone, which you don't need to be, because those trucks can be quite dangerous on the road. And John says people in little four-wheeler cars, they just run out in front of you, slam on their brakes, they just think you can stop, and here you are loaded, you know, and they don't know how much they're putting themselves in God's hands when they do that all the time, that's for sure. God takes care of us all, though, doesn't he? Even the ones of us that are... Well, thank you, darling. Thank you, thank you. That's all I got left is the peas. And then I thought I'd go around and find some honeysuckle with everybody, because I want to make honeysuckle jelly with everybody. I was telling everybody how God works in mysterious or wonderful ways, because he helped me find somebody that I can still get some chickens this year. It's not too late for me.
Yeah, that's a blessing, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I'm so excited about it. And she told me to introduce hen to hen at night. Like, yeah, like when you put them up, you know, that way they're real docile, and they'll, I guess in the morning.
They'll get to smell one another all night, and they'll be all right.
Yeah, it'll be a little better, yeah, in the morning. Of course, I'll go out real early and try to open the coop or something. Maybe Tyler will do it. Tyler's real good about opening them early in the morning. Did you and Tyler have a good day?
Had a great day, really did. Got a lot done.
Yeah. A lot done?
Mm-hmm. A lot done.
Alrighty. Will you hold those peas for me, baby? They're nice and cool. I just took them out of the deep freeze.
I make them put on the back of my neck.
They got a hole in there, so don't spill them.
Don't spill them.
Let me get my hoe. What you gonna do, baby? You wanna?
I'm come home. You said coffee, and I come home and drink coffee.
Okay.
I got excited. I told Tyler he'd go finish that project.
What's Tyler doing?
He's gonna run cover that line up on that other job we had started.
Okay. I'm gonna finish planting my peas. I'll
In case it rains tonight, it won't.
Yes, that's why I want to
Fill
get
that
this
hole
down.
water.
That's why I want to get all this down before it rains, and I can't plant even longer period of time. It is time, isn't it?
It is.
And I'm doing these the same way, guys. I cover them up a little bit, and then I just lightly tap them in, and make sure you hide all of them so your birds don't find one, because then they'll find them all if they see one.
They find one, they'll find all of them.
Yes.
Right.
It's a sheer miracle. God is involved with your garden coming up. They got so many elements against them. One year, remember that year, I was going to tell everybody I came out here, and it was in the evening, and all my peas were ready to pick, and I said, oh good, I'll get up in the morning, I'll drink coffee, and I'll come out and pick all my peas and put them up. Well, I got up and drank my coffee and came out here, and there was one pea left, nor pea plant. The deer came in at night, and they ate every last, they didn't even leave me a plant to grow some more peas. They ate the plant too. Yes, so that's when we put that electric fence around here. You did for me, and that worked for a few years, but we hadn't had any trouble, knock on wood. So we're not putting that electric fence around. Maybe we'll get away with it. Seems like since you've got this fence up right here, this pasture, they don't cross right here as easily. But I have seen a deer print coming through here just since you tilled my garden, so I don't know. We shall see. Alright guys, I'm coming to y'all. Cover that pea. I got 2 more rows to do, and then I'm going to dot my sunflowers in here too. I just dotted them all around in my jalapenos and cucumbers and tomatoes, and I'll do the same in here. They just look pretty. I'm going to come turn y'all off so I won't bore y'all to death. I gotta hide those peas. Okay, y'all, I'll be back. Maybe if we got time, we'll go look for some honey. We are finito. And I planted down this back row, I planted sunflowers down there. So it'll be on the back side of our pea patch and look real pretty. And there's our line of tomatoes we planted, and then the jalapenos, and then of course the cucumber patch. You can't see them, they're just seeds, but y'all saw me putting them. Something I wanted to show you, I planted around the canning kitchen out here. Here on this back side, it's up against one of our pasture fences, and you see it's our utility area. It's got the little air unit and gas tank and our water and electrical and all that. So what I thought I would do, I've got some fig trees, and I'm so excited. When John was tilling this last time, he tilled right there and planted these little fig trees for me, and I fertilized them today too. So I got one here, and then I'll walk y'all back behind here, and I got one on this corner, and I'm about to water them. See, they're looking droopy. They've been planted for about 3 days. But anyway, I did that. So my plan is I want to plant sugar cane down in this. You see this area right here? It stays wet and mucky. I almost get stuck when I mow. So I want to plant sugar cane right there because John's Papa grew sugar cane here. So I kind of want to represent that. But with the fig tree idea, I'm hoping to cover up these 2 back corners of my canning kitchen so you can't see the utility area. Plus, I love a fig tree. It reminds me of being at my grandmother's house, and me and my cousin Michelle, we'd get under that fig tree and make us a playhouse, and we would play all day under that fig tree in the hot summer. It was just as cool. It was fun, a great memory, and we can make lots of treats with those figs too, can't we? My grandmother's got a fig cake, and I would love to share that with y'all. I have so much I want to share with y'all. So anyway, we've still got our herbs to plant, and I ordered some planters to go on the front of the canning kitchen that hang off, kind of like that little bucket right there, that will plant cilantro and parsley and oregano and sage and thyme, all that good stuff. So anyway, that's what we've got done so far, guys. Thank y'all for being with me. I'm usually out here, it's just God in me, so I'm glad y'all were here to join in with our conversation. And I am fixing to go enjoy a cup of coffee with John, and then he's going to ride me around on the side-by-side, and we'll try to find some honeysuckle together. So I'll see y'all in a little bit.